You rolling, Jess?
Yep.
Okay, you ready? All right, let's give it up for Jess.
All right. Hi guys. I'm Jessamyn. Today I'll be talking to you about hiking the Grand Canyon. How many of you have ever been to the Grand Canyon or something similar? All right, a lot less people than I thought. I just went over spring break. I also went to different places in Utah, but it's definitely a ton of fun. It's kind of hard to see, but like that's a picture of the Grand Canyon. It's a picture of me standing there, so obviously I was there. I wasn't lying about that. So I'll be talking to you about tips for hiking, stuff like checking the weather, making sure you have the essentials, and knowing the route before you go. So rain, shine, or snow, it's all possible. Always know the weather. Knowing the weather is crucial because most places weather can change really quickly. So most places will have boards up or park rangers there telling you what the weather will be like, what the sunrise will be, and what the sunset will be, and knowing the sunset is extremely important too. That way, you know when you need to be out by. Dressing appropriately for the weather, so make sure you dress appropriately, but always make sure you bring extra layers like a rain jacket or a hat. When you go into the canyon deeper, it gets hotter, a lot hotter, because there's no wind, there's nothing to protect you from it. Most paths in the Grand Canyon are in straight in sunlight. There's no shade or anything, so you don't really have a place to hide unless you find a rock and hide under it. That picture is a picture of a guy. We thought he was wearing a shirt. Nope, he's just extremely sunburnt and vomiting, and the sign says he ends up dying, so don't be like that guy. Always listen to warnings from park rangers about possible floods, landslides, or extreme heat. Again, in the canyon, it gets a lot hotter than on the surface, so you will probably end up getting burnt. I did, but it was only the last day. When we were out there, we saw a lot of people who underestimated the weather and went down in skirts, sandals, tank tops, no hats, no sunscreen, so they kind of were screwed when they got there. The second thing I was going to talk about, and park rangers can also tell you a lot about this, are the essentials to bring with you. So we were camping for a week and we went to a bunch of different places, but the last place we ended up was the Grand Canyon. So that's an awkward picture of me, the car packed full of stuff. I had about this much room to sit, but it was totally fine. And then this is like the back of the window. We had a ton of stuff stuck in there, and then the trunk was actually full of everything and we had no room. Thought the trunk was going to fly open a couple times. But when you're hiking, always make sure you have snacks and water. Those are extremely important, especially water. You want salty snacks like pretzels, peanuts, crackers with peanut butter, and you want to snack often because you don't want to eat a bunch of food, get logged down, and you'll be walking a lot slower, and it's awful when it's hot and you just want to die. I did a couple times. You also want to bring snacks that have a lot of potassium or glucose because that'll give you quick energy, it'll keep you from getting cramps, it'll keep your energy up. Or you could bring things like glucose tablets, which we did. Keeps you from getting the shakes, which I did even though I took the tablets. And you don't want to eat foods high in protein because they'll sit in your stomach and you'll really just feel gross. I did that once and it was a terrible idea. You'll feel really gross and you just won't want to walk anymore, and it's a lot of walking. Or hiking, I guess. Other things to bring are like a first aid kit, Advil, wipes, Kleenex, portable charger. You could also bring like a plastic bag for trash because you definitely don't want to leave your trash behind, but there's also not many trash cans you can find out in the middle of the canyon, especially if you go down a lot deeper. You also want to bring things like a portable charger because if your phone starts to die, you have no way of calling people, and there's actually a lot really good service in the canyon. Learn that too. And you'd find that most people don't actually bring these things, so if you're the smart one to bring it and you pass people who need something, then you have it, and that's a good thing. And you can also bring things that people don't usually think to bring, but like extra sunscreen, an extra pair of socks, a headlamp or a flashlight, and a knife, because if you get stuck out after sunset, things will try and eat you. They did tell us that. So you definitely want to make sure you have a knife or something for protection. And that leads me to my last point, knowing your way and the route. So make sure you know what route you're taking before you go. Make sure you know how to get there, how to get out, because you don't want to get stuck behind after sunset. It's kind of scary. Let's see. A major thing is when you're hiking, make sure you say hi to passing hikers, because that'll make them pay attention to you and they'll look at you. They'll look at what you're wearing and like potentially if you've got a hat on or something, they'll remember that. So if you get lost, they might be able to help, like, I don't want to say police, but like park rangers say like, oh yeah, I saw this person, they were going this way and I didn't see them come back up, so that's really important. And then you also may see like the little rock towers. You may see like the little rock towers. Those are called cairns, and people actually set them up so you know you're going in the correct direction. It's usually done by people who hike those a lot more often than most people. So definitely follow those if you see them. If you think you can do it, build one yourself. It's really cool. I've done it before. Yeah, these are paths in the Grand Canyons. Like this leads all the way down, and then there's a path that goes all the way down here, and it goes all the way down to the bottom, which we didn't do because it was terrible getting down. So getting up was even worse. And if you're unsure about a path, ask a park ranger. That's what they're there for. They can tell you how long it'll take you to finish the trail and the level of difficulty, and they can also tell you where good pictures are at the time of the day when you're going. Park rangers are really helpful. They're really nice, and their outfits are pretty cool. So to wrap this all up, always check the weather, be prepared, make sure you pack the essentials, so pack for the worst, and don't become one of those stories that you hear about people getting lost and dying, because that's dumb. Don't do it. And yeah.